you still ready for today? Shoot some videos?
Is that today? Yeah, I'm ready.
So this was where Frank and Walter started Remax, Ontario, Atlantic, Canada. Also had my first job here. I was a janitor.
Your family built something incredible, but they also made you work from the bottom up.
When I left, I had all these opportunities come out of nowhere. He had this famous saying that the sale begins when the customer says no.
What do you do for fun?
I've been a closet bedroom DJ for like 25 years. It's frustrating and puzzling why brokerage companies in Canada don't think bigger.
Is it technology? Is it like mindset? Is it a cultural thing?
If you're on the fence, either go all in or get out.
So Chris, for somebody in your position right now, you were president of Remax, and so you've been on the corporate side, the agent side for so long, but now you're dabbling in entrepreneurship, but you also got a role within Remax a bit, right? You're still consulting. What are the big kind of forces surrounding you right now, the big trends?
Well, like all industries right now, AI is dramatically changing everything from the ground up in how the business is evolving. In my opinion, it's more positive than negative, but from every facet, from the way consumers are searching for real estate, where they're getting their information from, to the way the agents are interacting with their brokerage companies. Take, for example, here in North America, what we're seeing is consumers are using AI services to find their listings in short order. Like you can type into ChatGPT, I'm looking for 3-bedroom house, 3 bathrooms, the garage, and it's starting to populate catalogs of listings. And then they're going to their agents to work their way through the transaction. And so what that piece is going to do right there is put a lot of pressure on buyer's agents. And it's already been really happening for a while here in Canada, is like the buyer agent's role of finding the listings and being that conduit to keeping people informed is getting really easy. In the past, you had a challenge that you were working through. Your first call was going to be to your broker or your manager, like, hey, I've got this issue, what should I do? Now what we're seeing is on the little stuff, they're just asking ChatGPT or Perplexity, like, what kind of clause should I insert here and things like that. What I'm encouraged by, though, is anything big and very complex, they're still calling the broker or the manager. So what's great about that is if you're a broker owner, you've got tremendous amount of expense. Most of it's in staff. And so you might have an opportunity to reduce your staff and claw back some of that margin that has been eroding for like decades. The consolidation of the industry has been talked about for the last 5 years. In Canada, I'm just shocked at how long it's taken for any large-scale consolidation to happen. And that's something that used to frustrate the hell out of me when I was at Remax Canada, because like even in our own system, people were so reluctant. Even when times were good and everybody was making money, the people that were just doing okay, you always encourage them to merge with somebody or consolidate somehow. And for some reason in Canada, people are really reluctant to do that. It's frustrating and puzzling why brokerage companies in Canada don't think bigger and don't think about, man, if I just consolidated or merged with another company, I'd be that much more powerful because I'd have way better cash flow. Chances are you'd be doing more volume with less expenses. I think there's some new products and services coming on that's going to help with some of that. But still, I think my message to the broker owners in Canada is like, if you're struggling, you should really consider mergers and acquisitions with other like-minded brokerages in your market. So the third trend that's on my mind is the European market. So I've been involved with Remax Europe as a strategic advisor since March of this year. I've been around that business for my whole life pretty much, but now seeing it firsthand and being in the market there and seeing how agents work with their customers, with other agents. Most of the time they don't. It's so fascinating, especially coming from a market like Canada and the US where things are so organized. That's just like so foreign to the way they do business in Europe. Like I walked into an office in Paris earlier this year and I was just curious about like what the inventory was like. And I said, I'm looking for 400 square meters, or which in Paris would have been like 15 million plus euros. And the guy said to me, yeah, I don't have that, but if you try the agency across the street, which was a different brand altogether, he's like, they might be able to help you. And if they don't have it, just like keep going into different offices. And I was like, wait a minute, like I'm looking for something that's 15 million euros. I'm not actually looking for that, but but I was like, this is a big listing. Like, is this a small company? Like, do you not have other branches that like might have it in the same brand? It's like, no, yeah, we're one of the biggest companies in France, but we don't really deal with listings at that price point, and I don't have any of that inventory, so you might as well just walk across the street. And I'm sitting there like, man, if I was actually looking for that, how long would it take me to find that home? And to me, it's a huge opportunity to improve that experience. And we're really focused on it at RE/MAX of Europe, and in some countries like Portugal, for example, they do cooperate. The agents do cooperate, and like, go figure, product moves a lot quicker there. Our business in Europe has done exceptionally well, especially in the last 5 years. And we really believe we can double it over the next 5. And I think changing the customer experience is going to really help speed that up.
It's funny because when you told me that story originally, I think you told me it very quickly on the phone. I thought your point was that the generosity of agents or their ability to refer to others, but the key point is that there's no centralized, transparent database, even within the same company, to say this brokerage over there has something for you. So is that the big difference in Europe? Is it technology? Is it like mindset? Is it a cultural thing? Why is it so different?
Well, the technology's been there for decades. Not there, but like available. And it's not a tech thing. It's a culture thing first and foremost, and that's deep rooted on all kinds of levels. There's a lot of what I call like skimming, where like the customer will be like, yeah, I'll pay 500 grand for that apartment, but let's only report it at 350. Here's your bag of cash. They do it all for tax purposes. Then the agent will not report the sale at 350 to their broker, and then the brokers are underreporting to their brands, and like it's a huge mess. And the other challenge you have is like data laws and privacy is so like deep, and like in a lot of cases you can't house any data.
Yeah.
And you don't have access to any data, so like people get away with a lot, but the mindset and the culture are the two biggest challenges.
You came from a long work history at RE/MAX, family business, corporate side, agent side, franchise side, but now you're onto new experiences, new opportunities. You've got a growing family as well. So you've got all these different things on the go, a lot of changes. So like, what keeps you up at night?
What's this gonna look like for me in 5 years? And I've got my fingers in a few different pies right now. A lot of them are really exciting. A lot of them come with a lot of risk. Some things that I'm going to invest in that's going to require a lot of time, and I'm just really anxious to know how's it going to play out.
As someone else who came from corporate into entrepreneur, it's like they're both stress, but there's such a different stress, right?
Yes.
Corporate has such a different stress, and then you get this freedom when you become an entrepreneur, but then you get almost like the FOMO stress. Right? Like, am I making the right moves? Am I moving fast enough? Like, there's all this unknown, right? But I find it's like a healthier stress in some ways, but I don't know if that's the same for you.
Well, it's worth it to me. It is the same. And, twofold. So like, I was stressed like hell leaving my role because, great job security, a lot of exposure to high profile things, and driving forward the #1 real estate brand in the country was like awesome. But the stress, I think, is healthier because like you're actually building something for yourself. I love RE/MAX, love RE/MAX Canada. The corporation was incredible. The opportunities it provided was amazing, and I can't thank the organization enough. But at the end of the day, I was grinding my ass off making somebody else rich. And now, like you you're grinding your ass off, improving your livelihood and your overall wealth. And I'd rather take that stress than the corporate stress all day long.
You mentioned some goals that you have, but I'm very curious because you are doing some work with Remax in Europe, but you've also told me about some potential ventures that you're interested in. So what are the next big moves for you? What do those goals look like?
When I left Remax Canada, I had a goal of building out a franchising advisory service business. At the end of the day, the real estate side was great, but I was most passionate about the franchising side. And, the success level that I was able to achieve and my family was like, we really know that business inside and out. I see a lot of emerging franchises in all industries and their challenges and how I could help them scale. So that was my goal while simultaneously working with Europe. But when I left, I had all these opportunities come out of nowhere. There's one that I'm really keen on that I think will revolutionize the profitability for brokerage companies. So yeah, I'm really excited about that one. It's tricky. Like there's obviously so much opportunity with Remax of Europe. We just passed $1 billion in GCI, gross commission income, for the first time in our history over a rolling 12-month period. And our goal is to get to 2, potentially even 3 in the next 5 years. Trying to find a way to drive that forward and do the things necessary to be able to hit those goals, but also like having something for myself and my family that is North American based so that we have something that's ours.
Love it. Thanks for doing this, man.
Oh, thank you. This was awesome.